Hey, everybody, welcome into Sports Hub STL presented by DraftKings. The crown is yours. And you are watching Domesticated Gamblers, your home for St. Louis sports gambling talk. I'm Eric Sontag. There's Shawn Surwillo and Tito Ulrich. Usually with you guys on Fridays here on the Sports Hub STL YouTube channel. But I'll be on vacation starting tomorrow. Tito's got baby number 6 coming later this week. So you got a special Monday edition of the show here today, but plenty to talk about when it comes to gambling on our hometown teams. We have the undefeated St. Louis baseball Cardinals playing tonight against the Angels. Then tomorrow you got the Blues going for win number 10 in a row against the Red Wings. You also got City and the Battlehawks in action this weekend. Also have the Final Four matchup set, and we got lines for all these games that we're going to talk about. So hang out with us here as we break it all down for you. Please hit that like button, subscribe to our Sports Hub STL YouTube channel, and hit that notification bell too so you don't miss anything here on Sports Hub STL, Domesticated Gamblers. Also available on podcast on Apple and Spotify, so you can find us there as well. And our show today is brought to you by Samonides Sweets and James Carlton with State Farm Insurance. So big show today, boys. A lot to get to. Tito, big week coming up for you, brother. So how you feeling?
Feeling pretty good. I'm busier than a hornet. Got me here on a Monday afternoon. I'm busier than I don't even know what it is. I got baseball practice in a couple hours. I got baseball pictures I got to take. I got a wife that's getting ready to pop any day now. I got these two clowns texting me about internet issues. Lottie freaking da. Big wolf to Tito.
Shawn, you were guilty of the internet issues this afternoon, but it appears all has been resolved.
Not me personally. That would be my internet provider. I won't talk about them.
Yeah, I don't want to rule them out as a sponsor on the show. But we're going to grind through it here. This might be difficult. I see mouth moving, but I see no words coming. I hear no words coming out of his mouth. So we're going to kick things off here with our home team coverage, and it is brought to you by James Carlton with the State Farm Insurance Agency. We are back. I think we're going to let it be awful today, boys.
Okay.
But you know who's not awful is James Carlton with State Farm Insurance. Guys, if you are looking for a way to add to your sports betting bankroll, how about give James a call? See if he can save you money on your insurance. That's what I did back in December. I had gotten a renewal notice from my previous agent with a significant increase on my home and auto insurance for 2025. So I got in touch with James and his team and said, hey, here's my current coverage. Can you run me a quote based on this exact same coverage and see if you can save me money? And turns out I could save over $800 for this year by making the switch to James Carlton and State Farm. So that's what I did. And man, I cannot emphasize enough how easy a process this was. Between getting a quote and a few emails and a couple phone calls to get things going, probably spent less than an hour on this whole thing. And I saved over $800. So guys, take a few minutes this week and get in touch with James Carlton and see if he can save you money. And you're going to love working with him. Super great guy, easy to talk to, and you can be assured he's going to take great care of you. James and his office now have 420 5-star reviews on Google. When you get a quote, mention Domesticated Gamblers or Sports Hub STL, and they'll make a donation on your behalf to Mizzou's NIL Fund. The phone number, 314-961-4800, or go to carltoninsurance.net. If your insurance costs a leg and an arm, call James Carlton, State Farm. And let's lead off, guys, with these Redbirds. And what a weekend it was. A sweep of the Twins in dominating fashion. Contributions up and down the lineup. Really good pitching, really good defense. Now they welcome the Angels in for a 3-game series. Tonight, it's Miles Michaelis up against the lefty Tyler Anderson. Redbirds a minus 155 favorite here. The Angels a plus 130 underdog, and the total is set at 8. So, Shawn, my fingers are crossed. Your internet is working okay. Lead us off here. Where are you going with the Cardinals and Angels tonight?
Yeah, I saw a lot of chatter. We got audio. We're good to go, I think. I saw a lot of chatter on X, on the socials about why wasn't Michaelis pitching yesterday? And actually, I think Ali did a great thing here. He's starting the new series with Miles. So this is smart management here. The Cardinals are proving to BFib and all these fans that they do know what they're doing. They came out hot this year. I'm taking the Cardinals tonight. This is a bad Angels team. Don't think Angels are going to be doing much winning. They're going to be trading Kenley Jansen here later in the year. Who'd they play this? They played the White Sox. I mean, They won 2 out of 3 against the White Sox. Lottie freaking da. That's a bad White Sox team. So it's surely looking like the Cardinals are going to win 2 series here to start the year. And I love what I'm seeing from this Cardinal team. So this is going to be a heavy play for me tonight, and let's keep this thing going.
So Angels, they took 2 or 3 from the White Sox, but only scored 5 runs in that series. Shawn, I want to ask you, because I know you're big on, price and being price sensitive. Cardinals at minus 155. Are you comfortable laying that, or on DraftKings right now? I'm a big fan of the -1 on the spread for baseball, because if if the Cardinals win by 1 run, you get a push and you only have to lay minus 107. So you got minus 155 in the money line, minus 107 for the -1 spread on DraftKings. Do you have any thoughts on that, or where you would go for that?
Yeah, I do like that -1. Usually a lot of books offer the -1.5 only. But if you can find -1, that's a good play, because you're looking at a push and not a loss with that half. So yeah, if you can find the -1, I love that, Eric. That's a good call. But for me tonight, it's going to be a little cooler night at Busch. I think the ball isn't going to travel much. So I'm going to just lay the odds here and hope to cash in.
Love it. Tito, are you feeling the love in these Redbirds right now? You're on mute.
Wow. Yeah, not my day. Not our day, folks. I'm sorry. Tito's been saying it from the rooftops for the last several months that this team has
it.
Haven't.
No.
What are you guys talking about?
You bet the under. You bet under 75. Me and Eric only need 72 more wins, and we're cashing.
Replay the tape. I think I was the one saying this is a 100-win team, I think. And I absolutely love this ball club. I love everything about it. No, to be totally transparent, yeah, I've been dead wrong so far. And we're gonna keep on riding that train, Daddy. They're gonna let us down. Back in 2011, I was not high on David Freese. I was not high on John Jay. And look what they did. They brought home the 11th World Championship. So I'm gonna keep on kind of trying to downplay this Cardinal club a little bit. Hopefully the mojo keeps on going this way. I love what I'm seeing from the at-bats. I'll tell you that right now. Putting the ball in play, hitting to all fields. I love that strategy. It's something that really, really excites me. So looking forward to tonight. Like Shawn said, it's gonna be really, really cold down there. I'm not expecting a big fan base down there, but maybe lay the odds and let's go for another Redbird W tonight, baby.
It's a great point you make of the approach. Like, it has been awesome. Cardinals as a team are hitting 306 with a 389 OBP and a 909 OPS. Also tied
Eric, not against any bums. The Twins got a good pitching staff. So kudos to the front office for getting this hitting coach fired up. This has been great.
Yeah, Lopez, Ryan, and Bailey Ober, 3 very good starters for the Twins. And the Cardinals also, I saw, they are tied for the second fewest strikeouts in baseball with only 19 Ks in the first 3 games of the season. It's like Brant Brown, like a certifiable man crush for me on this dude. Like, he talks about there's a time to slug, but there's also a time you need to lessen your intent and take the hit. Like, oh my God, like just like inject that right in my veins. Like, I have been talking about that for forever. That stopped slugging all the time. Just like when you got 2 strikes on you, shorten it up, go to the opposite field, put it in play. And we keep seeing that. So we are seeing that approach in action right now. Interesting point that the Cardinals have done all this with our guy, Wilson Contreras, doing absolutely nothing offensively so far. He's 0 for 14 after having that monster spring training. I think this is the game that he breaks out. Tyler Anderson, a left-hander for the Angels. Contreras has mashed lefties in his career with an 873 OPS against them. And against Anderson, he's got a home run and a 905 OPS in 22 at-bats against him. So pretty good sample size. I don't trust Michaelis enough to bet on the Cardinals tonight at that price. So my bet for this game is going to be on Wilson Contreras. I'm looking at the batter props market on DraftKings. You can take over 1.5 combined hits, runs, and RBIs. And it's at minus 120. So if his combined number of hits, runs, and RBIs total over 1.5, you win this bet. So that's where I'm going for my play in this game. Shawn, do you think that's sharp?
That is sharp, but I don't like betting on a hitter who's ice cold. He can have all the la-di-da stats we talk about, 900 OPS, but in real life, if you're cold, you're cold. If you're hot, you're hot. And he's not hot right now. He's not seeing the ball well, it doesn't look like. But he has made hard contact a few times. There have been exit velos in the 100-mile-per-hour range. So, Tito, we can get into more of this analytical part of baseball that's taking the world by storm right now with these torpedo bats. I'd love to see it. They're moving the barrel of the bat down a little bit, closer to the trademark. This is a great improvement for batters. I love it. Eric, I hope you hit this one, but it'll be interesting to see tonight also with this lineup if Victor Scott plays tonight with the lefty on the mound. We might see Ciani get his first start of the year. And I'd like to see Ciani do something tonight, so I might look for a little prop for Ciani myself.
Big woof, Michael Ciani. You want to play a prop on Michael Ciani after Eric gives you all these stats and information. But hey, kudos to you, Shawn, for holding Eric accountable. I like the fact that he reads you all these stats and then you poo-poo him by just saying, hey, when you're hot, you're hot. And when you're cold, you're cold. That's excellent analysis. Tip of the cap to you, sir.
So lineup for tonight is Newt, Contreras, Luke, and Baker in the 3-hole. Arenado, Herrera, Donovan, and then Walker, Scott, and Wynn. So Victor Scott getting the start against the lefty tonight. Excited
to love to see that. I drafted Victor Scott, and love to see him getting starts against lefties. Hopefully he can cash in.
Yeah, contributions just up and down the lineup and with the pitching staff so far this season. So the Cardinals are hot, and these St. Louis Blues, I'm going to move on because we got to get the show rolling, but these St. Louis Blues are just scorching hot. They go for 10 in a row tomorrow when the Red Wings come to town. The Blues playoff odds to make the playoffs on DraftKings now, they're up to minus 550. So, this is happening. It's going to take a total collapse if the Blues are going to not make the playoffs at this point. The Red Wings come to town tomorrow as a plus 142 underdog. The Blues are priced up at minus 170. So a healthy favorite here, and the total set at 5.5, over juiced up to minus 120. Tito, I thought you were getting confused with the Cardinals and the Blues at first, talking about how you were so high on the Cardinals. But I give you credit. The St. Louis Blues, from show number 1 here on Sports Hub STL, you have been singing the Blues praises, saying the turnaround is coming, and it happened. So your thoughts on the Blues in this game with the Wings tomorrow night?
I mean, my goodness, Monty and this club are firing on all cylinders. This is with Colin Parayko out, folks. I mean, what kind of voodoo magic is Jobu cooking? Everyone knows that in fantasy baseball, Tito's name is Jobu's Rum or some shenanigans like that. Everyone knows that Tito's a big Jobu person. So this is absolutely astonishing. Tito was 100% right. This club has it. Dylan Holloway, saw him at the STL City game yesterday with Jake Neighbors. They were banging on the drum. Maybe it was a glorious sight to see. This team has it. And they're going to put Jimmy Snuggerud in tomorrow. Jimmy Snipes. He's going to score a couple of goals against these Red Wings tomorrow night, and I'm looking forward to it. This is going to be a dynamic team. It's like you making a trade when you sign Jimmy Snuggerud at the end of the season, and you make your depth even more depthful. I love it, baby. Let's go Blues.
So money line minus 170. You're just going to lay that with the Blues?
Oh gosh, yeah, sure. Or maybe the over. Or maybe see if there's a Jimmy Snipes player prop where he's going to score a goal. He's going to light the lamp a couple of times tomorrow night, baby.
And no player props available on DraftKings as of yet. Those will probably come out tomorrow morning on Tuesday. Yeah, totals at 5.5. Like I said, I think that could be a good look. The Blues are not giving up any goals right now, but they're just scoring in bunches. Shawn, what do you think here?
When the player props come out, get on Robbie Thomas. He's been one of the best players since the Final Four. We're thinking NCAA. Since the Four Nations. I think Robbie Thomas gets you a point. Whatever his little prop play is, I'd be hammering that. This guy's been incredible. He needed a little time to get healthy. He didn't get to play in that Four Nations. He was banged up a little bit. This guy's been the heartbeat of the team, and Bennington's been great. I'm going to fade the Blues because, kind of like Tito, I've been fading the Blues this whole time, and they're still winning. So I'm not changing course here. Give me they just beat Colorado.
Detroit? You're going to take Detroit? Detroit's terrible.
We're playing the Red Wings. Yeah, give me Detroit. I'm not going to change now. No tricks, Mick. No tricks.
I like that. You're kind of taking one for the team here. It's like when you're playing blackjack and you're sitting at third base and you got a hand you don't really love, but you got to do what's best for the good of the table. But we
Yeah,
appreciate you, Shawn. That's what you're doing here.
I'm just taking one for the team. If I bet on them now and they win or they lose, then it's because it's my fault, So
I hear you, brother. Yeah. Wings. I still I know they haven't been in the Blues division in many years now, but it's still when that jersey rolls into town, I still feel the hatred like in my gut from all those series when we were kids with Stevie Yzerman and Sergei Fedorov. So they're not a bad team. They're still in the playoff mix. They're 3 points out of the 8th spot in the East. But they are coming off a month of March where they went 4-10. So they are not playing good hockey right now. Blues, of course, now 16-2-2 over their last 20 games. So that's like a quarter of the season now. Just insane. They beat the Wings 4-0 in the prior meeting this season up in Detroit. So my play for tomorrow, I've had a lot of success with this. I've been red hot on these Blues picks on SportsHubSTL.com. I don't want to lay the minus 170. So what I like to do is I do a same game parlay on DraftKings by adding a player prop. And like I said, they're not up yet, but one thing that I did, I think it was in the Canadians game, that I'm planning to do tomorrow is parlay the Blues money line with Jordan Kyrou to get at least 2 shots on goal. That's going to get you down to around the minus 110 range for this bet. Kyrou's gotten at least 2 shots on goal in 77% of his games this season. And it's like been even hitting at a more ridiculous rate here of late. So it's just kind of like, take it. It's almost like getting
what would that player prop bet be for just him on shots on goal? Do you know?
I think for the 2+ shots on goal, it's usually like in the minus 400 to minus 500 range. So basically what I view that as is like getting a coupon. I'm like turning in a coupon to get a discount on the money line price, if that makes sense. So instead of having to lay minus 170 on the money line, you had Kyrou to get a couple shots on goal, which is super duper likely to hit. And then you're getting around minus 110 in that range. So I've had a lot of success with that lately. I've been red hot on these plays on SportsHubSTL.com, over 60% for these plays. So make sure you're following along here. But yeah, very high on these Blues, man. At this point, they're probably going to clinch with a couple games to go at this rate. And then you worry about the foot off the gas situation. But like, this has just been absolutely incredible. Shawn, we appreciate you taking one for the team here and betting on wingy.
I'm not really looking forward to this lineup change, bringing Jimmy Snipes in. The team's playing good. Don't mess with the chemistry. So we'll see. Hopefully the kid can get in there and get scoring some goals, but I don't like messing with the team right now.
Yeah, when you're talking about Texier or one of those third liners that aren't really producing very, very effectively, that's not going to disrupt any sort of momentum. When you can have depth scoring from all 3 lines or all 4 lines, you take advantage of that. And especially like Eric said, if they're this far, clinching or close to clinching a playoff spot, this would be good timing to get him some reps with the club in case someone does go down in the playoffs, and then he can just kind of light it up from there. So it's all good stuff. So look for the Blues to take advantage tomorrow night. Look for Jimmy Snipes to score a couple goals. And let's see the Blues hoist the chalice in June, Daddy.
So I know this is a recorded show. I just want to make sure I'm clear on the information as we sit here at 3:13 p.m. the day before the game. I see Jeremy Rutherford tweeted about an hour ago, asked Monty if Snuggerud's going to play. He says the quote is potentially. He had a good practice. I'll talk it over with the staff. He's a quality talent that we've acquired, and it's just going to make us deeper and better. So have you seen something different, Tito, that he's in the lineup and going to play? Or is the JR?
That's just my gut after reading the text from JR and as well as from Lou Korak in regards to seeing what kind of things they were talking about on Twitter. So that's just my gut. I would love to see them out. I'd love them to see them out there tomorrow night. Like I said, just like making a trade when you sign a draft pick like that later in the season, Daddy.
Yeah, it's interesting because like if there's like the game that Dvorak got, a few games ago. That was because it was out of necessity because the Blues had a couple injuries going on. Obviously, if they have that situation again tomorrow, put Snuggerud in there. But if they just want to healthy scratch someone just to get him in there, man, I would not screw with that. But have him in there as a depth. I kind of look this as almost like in baseball they have the September call-ups that they can be around a playoff run, so they get that feel of what it's like to be around a winning club. Man, I just even if he doesn't play and doesn't get much playing time down the stretch, like just be around this and soak up this ride. I think all of us Blues players, fans, like the vibes are just so good right now, really across St. Louis sports right now, other than frickin' City, which we're going to talk about here in just a little bit. But Blues and Cardinals, man, this feels about as good as you could possibly ask for here on March 31st.
Yeah, it was a great weekend for sports in St. Louis. I cashed a lot of hometown bets. I know you did, Eric. The one thing we didn't cash was City, and I can't wait to get into that.
Oh, man, we're going to get to them in the Battlehawks here in just a bit, but we got the Final Four all set, baby. The tournament overall, like, let's be honest, it's not been a great tournament. Like, it's been a letdown, no huge upsets, not a ton of great finishes. That Florida-Texas Tech game was incredible on Saturday. That Walter Clayton Jr. was just like straight gangster. He was incredible. So it does set up all 4 number 1 seeds in the Final Four. So hopefully we get a couple great games on Saturday, just a couple heavyweight fights potentially staring at us in the face on Saturday. But first, I want to remind you guys about another one of our awesome sponsors here on the show, and that is Samonides Sweets. Tito, these half-pound cookies, my God, no joke. These are like as good as it gets. I cut them in half, stick them in the microwave for 20 seconds, and you have delicious goodness. So tell us more about Samonides
before Tito gets into that. We bought some, and the kids ate them all up within a couple hours. They just kept going back and back for them. Phenomenal cookies. Good call with the microwave, Eric.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Tito, so thank you very much for introducing us to this and the viewers as well.
Yeah, of course. And, like I said, like I did last Friday, I'm going to do it again this Friday because I absolutely love Dickie V, baby. So we're going to say it in Dickie V's voice, baby. So listen up, cookie lovers. Oh, and my Domesticated Gamblers fam. You're not going to believe this, baby. I've been shouting it from the rooftops, and I got to tell you, Samonides Sweets is a slam dunk, a grand slam, a hat trick of deliciousness. These cookies are diaper dandies, folks. They're not just cookies. You're talking about half-pound monsters, Daddy. We're talking premium, top-shelf ingredients, and guess what? They deliver these bad boys right to your doorstep. Just head on over to SamonidesSweets.com. The link's going to be in the YouTube description, and get ready for a taste sensation that'll have you shouting, are you serious? And oh, baby, I got a special treat for you. Use code MARCH25 at checkout for 25% off your order. That's right, folks. Now you can enjoy these Rockstar cookies at a slam dunk discount. While you're munching on these champions of the cookie world, why not place a few more bets on sports badness? These cookies are the ultimate snack for your next sports betting showdown. You can't lose with a combo like this, folks. And the flavors, they're unreal, baby. You're talking about the chocolate overload, sprinkle deluxe, melt in your mouth, not in your hand, white chocolate macadamia nut. These are all Americans. Don't forget Tito's MVP pick, the classic chocolate chip. And for my peeps with special dietary needs, they got vegan and gluten-free options. What a PTP, baby. And if you're feeling fancy, dive into the Deluxe Cookie Collection with stunners like Banana Pudding Cookie Deluxe and Turtle Cookie Deluxe. They got bite-sized goodies. They've got every single cookie's made to order. That freshness that's unmatched, baby. You'll be calling for a T.O., Daddy. So what are you waiting for? Head on over to SamonidesSweets.com. Order up these rock stars of the dessert world. And don't forget to follow them on Instagram at Samonides Sweets. That's SAMONIDES. It's a no-brainer, folks. Sweeten up your life, pair it with the thrill of sports betting, and score 25% off with March 25. Indulge in sweet perfection with Samonides Sweets. It's awesome, baby, with a capital A.
Everyone can now turn their volume back up a little bit. I tried to turn it down a little bit there, but Tito, the passion is unmatched. Just make sure we don't lose you here. You got a kid coming in a couple days, so I want to just drop dead over there.
I'm here for the Dickie V, but you got to do Dickie V like the whole show, just the whole Dickie V.
You got it, Daddy. Whatever you want to talk about, when you talk about Bronx Badness, and you talk about Tommy Izulucin at the Elite Eight, and you talk about these zebras, and you talk about John Sharon, the Dookies. Oh, it's awesome. You got Cooper Flagg. He's a diaper daddy. He's an All-American. Oh, let's go, folks.
Because Mike just cut out for a second. Popped.
It did.
Testing the limits of that microphone. Well, let's talk about this Final Four.
Halloween show. We got to all be a character.
Oh, my God. Yeah. We're surviving here. Surviving on the show. Let's talk about these games as Tito pops a pizza roll into his mouth. Florida and Auburn, SEC matchup. Gators 2.5-point favorite. You got a high total here of 160.5 in a big dome stadium for a Final Four. Dickie V or Tito, whoever I'm talking to, what do you think on this one? Gators and Auburn.
I absolutely love the under on this play. You got that Walter fellow over at the Gators, whatever his name is. He's an absolute rock star. You gotta love him. You gotta love the Gators. You gotta love the SEC, Daddy. Bruce Pearl, an absolute maniac. So let's go with the Gators in this matchup, baby. I love them.
Shawn, you co-sign that?
No, I'm going to take Auburn laying the 2.5 here. I just think for some reason Auburn gets this done. I know Florida's been dominant and they've looked great, like one of the best teams. Just feels like Auburn's getting in there. So give me Auburn. I'm going to fade Tito because he's been terrible in our bracket. He's been terrible. I think he's in last place. So I'm fading Tito.
No, what? Now Auburn, don't they have isn't their star player hurt? Is he okay? Do we know?
He's banged up.
He got hurt.
He's going to be okay. He's going to play. He's going to be okay. I don't love this one. I think it's really tough to call. I do lean Gators just because I have Florida against Duke in the championship game in my bracket. Florida did win at Auburn earlier this season, but Janai Broome was out with an injury in that one too. So he's almost certainly going to be out there on Saturday. But just like when Auburn gets going, man, like they did in that second half in the Michigan game on Friday, they're just like really, really tough to stop. So I do think it's going to be a great game. If I had to bet it, I would take Florida just because I'm kind of committed to them and I just trust them maybe a little bit more. The Dukies, a 5.5-point favorite against Houston with a total of 136.5. I'm almost certain we're going to have some disagreement on this because, Shawn, you had Houston as your champion in your bracket, so I'd imagine you are sticking with that.
Yeah, and Roberts is coming back for Houston. Now, this is a big, jolt of lightning here, as Tito would like to say, into the lineup. And also, this is a Final Four game. At 5.5 feels good. I like that. So anything over 3, I was going to bet Houston either way. So I'm taking the 5.5. I'm taking Houston. I'm not going to touch the over-under. It's at 136.5. Get that out of here. Seems a little low, but Houston likes to play low-scoring games. Nobody's been talking about Houston but me. I think Houston gets this thing done. It's in San Antonio, baby, right where they want it. They're going to have a home crowd feel, I'm pretty sure, of this one. So go ahead, Tito. Tell us how Duke and Cooper Flag are awesome with a capital A, baby.
You're talking about the Dukies and the over-under on the regional final. I think it was like 176.5, and that was my best bet is to go with the over. That was way under. I mean, this Dookie squad, you want to talk about a team that can play some defense. The Dukies, they know how to play lockdown defense. I love this under of 136.5. I think I'm going to go a little bit over it, but my, that's really, really low, folks. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes, but Cooper Flag, John Shire, Connettle, these guys are all Americans. These guys are no doubt first class Hall of Fame, college basketball Hall of Famers. So I love the Dukies in this matchup. They're going to win by 20. They've been knocking everybody out by 20 plus points. It hasn't just been the first 2 rounds. It's been the Elite 8. It's been the Sweet 16. They're going to continue that trend all the way to Monday night where they're going to have one shiny moment, Daddy. Woo!
Yeah, I am getting UConn vibes from this team from the last couple of years. Like they are just eviscerating teams. Like if you look at the stats, in the Sweet 16, Arizona played incredible. Like they probably beat 99% of other teams on that night, but Duke was just better and was able to beat them. So I'm going to be on Duke here. I just, like I said, in my bracket, I have Florida over Duke. I wish I could flip that at this point. Duke looks to me like the clear best team. I just took them. I bet them last night to win the championship at -105 on my book is where I got it. And yeah, for the total, Houston, 69-50 was the score of that game against Tennessee. So the under cash in that game in the Elite 8, the total in that game was 126.5, which I'm sure people saw that go, oh my God, like over 126.5. The under cash is at 119 points scored. So I'm going to be on the
It's been a boring.
It's been a terrible box madness, Daddy. What an absolute atrocious of a tournament. What an absolute abomination. That's why I'm having to do Dickie V all the time, because there's been no buzzer beaters. There's been no highlight rules. What are they going to show for one shiny moment? What are they going to show? They're going to show a bunch of lopsided wins of guys just shaking hands at the midcourt. Big woof.
Last
For real,
time it was in San Antonio, the top number ones, all 4 of them made it. They made it again. Get this thing out of San Antonio.
yeah, you had the Maryland kid with the buzzer beater against Colorado State.
Hey, he took like 18 steps, by the way, too. He did a Patrick Ewing, ran across the lane and took like 19 steps.
Yeah, so that was like the big moment of the tournament. Then you had the Houston inbounds play to win the game the other night. Other than that, like no big moments in this tournament. But man, it's like I mentioned, that Florida game with Auburn's gonna be really tough to call. And guys, are you ready to win real money this coming April? Are you struggling to pick a winner in these games coming up on Saturday? Well, forget about the teams. All you need to focus on are player stats to rack up big cash prizes with DraftKings Pick 6. And when it comes to massive payouts, DraftKings dunks all over the competition. Pick 6 is available in most states, including Missouri, California, Texas, Georgia, and more. Track your picks for a shot to win huge cash prizes. It's as simple as that. So I have DraftKings Pick 6 downloaded on my phone because we can do that here in Missouri. Super easy to get signed up. And it's been a chalky tournament, so I'm going to go with a good amount of chalk on my 6 picks. I'm going to take the over on points for my guy Walter Clayton Jr. Also going to do the same for Janai Broom, Cooper Flagg, and LJ Cryer. And I'm going to go under on the point totals for Chad Baker-Mazara and Milos Uzan, because I do think Auburn and Houston are going to come up short on Saturday. So turn your college basketball knowledge into cash today. New players get $50 in Pick 6 credits instantly with just a $5 entry. Download the DraftKings Pick 6 app now and use code STL Sports. That's code STL Sports for new customers to play $5. Get $50 in Pick 6 credits. Better payouts, bigger wins, only with Pick 6 from DraftKings. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org in Connecticut. Must be 18 and over. Age and eligibility restrictions vary by jurisdiction. Pick 6 not available everywhere, including New York and Ontario. Void where prohibited. 1 per new customer. Bonus awarded as non-withdrawable Pick 6 credits that expire in 14 days. Limited time offer. See terms at pick6.draftkings.com/promos.
All right, guys, let's talk St. Louis City SC. And if anyone had the all St. Louis teams parlay this weekend, it was City that ruined it for you. They've dropped 2 in a row after the 1-0 loss to Austin yesterday. They have now scored a total of 4 goals in 6 games so far this season. Good news is they've only allowed 2 goals, but man, it has just been a rough watch so far this season with a record of 2-2-2 after 6 games. City will be on the road against their rival this Saturday in Sporting KC, who just fired their manager this morning. So you got a new manager bounce situation to monitor here. They have an assistant taking over as the interim manager in KC. Sporting KC, a plus 110 favorite here on DraftKings. City, the plus 200 underdog, and the draw set at plus 255. Total for this game is set at 2.5. The over is minus 135, and you can get under 2.5 goals at plus 100. I see a lot of people chomping at the bit here. Shawn, you look excited about this one. I'm going to let you go first here.
Boy, this ain't a good sign for City. We got an 0-5-1 team we're facing here in Sporting KC, and they're the favorite. So what's going on here? This is not good. The odds makers don't like City at all. This is over a year now where the offense is the same. It's struggled. We're not making any adjustments. Nothing's different. Where's Tito wanting to hold ownership accountable? Hold them accountable, Tito. Nothing's changed. We're getting great goaltending, great defense, and that's it. It's a snooze fest. City needs to, invest in some goal scorers, or these seats are going to be empty. Over to you, Tito.
Yeah, a lot. That's a big woof. Okay, if you watched the game yesterday, I was at the game with my 2 sons. It was an absolute pleasure. Harrison's first ever sporting event. It was an awesome experience. He loved it. He loved the fire, loved the fireworks at the beginning. Too bad there was no fireworks during the game. Kind of fell asleep kind of halfway through, and the game was at 1 o'clock, folks. So big woof on that. I'll tell you what, I did like with the offense. They were really, really a lot more aggressive the first 35 minutes of the game. I like what they were doing. Obviously, they didn't have any goal scoring, no goals or no shots on net, but they were playing a lot better style of soccer. They were getting the ball down to the ends and trying for crosses. But Sean's right. They got no creativity when it comes to trying to put the ball in the back of the net. Their goal scorers and Klaus and Becher have been non-existent. The set pieces that they have with Hartel taking those and not having Leuven is a real big concern. I don't think Leuven's going to be around for a couple more weeks. I think there's some personal stuff going on there, not just the red card. I think his wife is still battling with some health issues. So that's unfortunate news. Thoughts and prayers out to the Leuven family if that is the case. But, I'm still confident that this back line, the defense, hold firm last night. I don't know why they started that Nielsen guy. You want to talk about a dumpster fire of a contract. That Nielsen fella, he needs to be shipped right back to Switzerland or to Sweden, wherever he's from. He got beat to the inside. I was telling my oldest son, Ben, yesterday, when they gave up that goal, he gets beat to the inside. That's why you don't get beat to the inside, fella. That's why you got to guard the middle. You can't guard the outside. He gets beat to the middle. They have a prime scoring opportunity, and they don't miss. So, Big Lottie freaking now. That guy needs to go back to wherever he came from, and they need to start some of these younger defensemen. But I'll tell you what, I like the fact that they're going to Kansas City. They're going to have to play with a chip on their shoulder with the odds makers not having it against them. Who cares about Peter Vermees losing his job? Lottie freaking Dodds, Sporting Kansas City. We need to represent STL in this matchup, baby.
So City money line for you. You think they get it done?
I think they get it done. Yeah, I think, like I said, I liked the offensive strategy that they had for the first 35 minutes, and then they fell behind, and then there was no creativity. So I like the approach of what Melberg was doing initially, but again, it kind of just went back to what their strategy had been the entire season, which is a big wolf at this point.
This team reminds me of the Cardinals the last 2 years, not this year. They're stuck. They're just doing the same thing over and over. They're feeding fans a bunch of garbage. There's no changes to the offense. It's boring. In Berkey, we trust. We got a new goalie in here. He's rock solid. That's what soccer is. Whoever you throw in net can make any save. We all played soccer growing up, and the goalie is just back there. He's a big wall. The goalie doesn't really matter much. Wolf on this. MLS, why don't you make the goals a little bigger? This is a bunch
my
of
goodness.
wolf.
Stop. What a big wolf of a take. No, stop. You need to knock it off, fella. There's nothing wrong with the game of soccer, how they're playing it today. And there's been a big change in their philosophy. Last year, they were giving up 5 or 6 goals a game. This year, they've tightened down the hatches when it comes to the defensive strategy. So don't give me this nonsense that they haven't changed. They have changed. They've went out to the transfer portal. They've gotten a couple of boys from the European leagues. So it's going to take a little bit more time. And like I said, they need to get more creative finishing. And he shipped Klaus out of here too. Big whoop on Santa Claus. Christmas is over, Klaus. Go back to Brazil.
Tito, you're right. The game of soccer is fine across the ocean, over in the pond.
Oh, stop it. Knock it off with
over there. The MLS.
I don't know the game. So they need to widen the nets. They need to increase the number of players. Oh, blah, blah, blah.
I played soccer for 15 years of my life. I know the game. It's a boring game. It's just the truth.
I will say, it is, that is the word I would use for it, boring. And trust me, I am a soccer guy. I was up at 7:30 in the morning yesterday watching Aston Villa play Preston North End in the FA Cup. Okay, so I am a soccer guy.
Those are good games.
Villa has an easy cash yesterday, by the way. 3-0 win. City, though, it's just been boring, and it's like there's been an overcorrection in how they play. It's so defensive, and I wonder, at this point, and I know probably the weather had something to do with it yesterday because, with the rain coming, a lot of empty seats that I saw on TV yesterday. I would imagine, no, you didn't notice that yesterday, Tito?
No, it was full. It was totally full.
All right, well, I just want, it's almost like this style of soccer is bad for business. And
no, stop it. No, it's not bad for business. It's fine. I mean, these are such poor soccer takes, folks. It's not about scoring goals. But it's not about that. That's not why people were going to refuse to come to the game. It's not anything about that. Stop that. It's been like 5 or 6 games. And you want to complain about the offense? It's fine. It's tired, boring talking points. They've changed their defensive strategy. They're a lot better defensively. That's what they're catering to. That's who they have defensively. They got Roman Berkey, who's an all-star goaltender. So they're going to center everything around Berkey. And then, like I said, they need to get a little bit more creative offensively to try to score some more goals, not just on set pieces, but just off the rush.
I will say I'm optimistic. I wonder if they do have a little bit of shift in philosophy in this particular game. Because remember that game they played against the LA Galaxy where I bet the under 3 and it was a 3-star play for me. It was like it was basically the highest bet that me personally that I would put down. And I barely survived with a push in that game, and City looked amazing with 3 goals scored. I wonder if we're kind of at this point where Melberg is like, okay, like we got to switch something up a little bit here. Maybe they come out with a different approach on Saturday in KC. My bet for this game, I am going to do a same game parlay on DraftKings. So Sporting KC, I am a believer in the new manager bounce. We saw it last year with Hackworth when he took over. Why am I drawing a blank here? Carnell.
Now
I'm having my moment on the show. We're going to let it be awful. But Carnell gets fired. Hackworth takes over. They immediately win the first game after. Obviously, we've seen it with the Blues this season when Monty came in. I'm a big believer in the new manager bounce. So what I'm going to do for the first leg of the parlay is take Sporting KC to either win or tie the game. So they're not going to lose. They can either win or tie. And then for the second leg of the parlay, I'm going to go under 3.5 goals for the game. Like if there's 4 goals in a City game at this point, like I'm going to faint and pass out. And I do think like KC is going to tighten it up defensively with the new manager in charge. And I really like the price on this so that you can bring it all the way down to -110 for Sporting KC to get a result and for the game to go under 3.5 goals, get it at -110. Maybe I'm overthinking it a little bit. I just took the under last week or, just yesterday. It was easy cash, but there's something about this. I feel like City might have a little bit different change in approach. I feel like this gives me a little bit extra cushion. Shawn, you like that bet?
I do actually like that bet. I'm going to follow you. That was going to be my bet was Sporting KC, and I was going to ask you about that little parlay deal that you do, the same game, and I love that bet. I'm going to be hammering the over in City all year because this team can't score. Tito can say whatever he wants. They can't score. The proof is in the pudding, baby.
So hammering the under is
City. They can't score. When have I ever said they can't score? I haven't said once that they can't score. What I'm criticizing you fools about is, it's so boring. Fans in the stands are not going to be clapping their hands. Oh, it's so boring. They're going to have big trouble. There's no problem here.
Not yet. There will be.
Well, they let us down this weekend. City did, but we have 2 undefeated teams in this town right now with the Redbirds 3-0 and your St. Louis Battlehawks are 1-0 after they just took Houston to Pound Town on Friday. Like that final was 31-6 and it wasn't even that close. I ended up betting the under 37.5. It was like a legendary sweat. It was like, it's too long for me to go into it, but it was the greatest sweat for the last 5 minutes in that game. The under did end up cashing. That's what the UFL is all about. It's a 31-6 game and I'm locked in watching these Battlehawks. Now they come back to the Dome for their home opener on Sunday against the San Antonio Brahmas. The Battlehawks, a 7-point favorite here with the total at 39.5. Shawn, the Battlehawks back at the Dome. Vibes are good. Where are you going on this one?
I don't like that 7 as a gambler. I don't like that 7 at all. This Battlehawks team, though, boy, they're running the rock right down your throat. I'd love to see it. And everybody knows, well, not everybody, but I know when you can run the ball at, I think they average 6.7 yards a carry. When you can average that kind of yards per carry, your offense is set up for success. You can do anything you want in the passing game. Wilkins was 17 out of 22, 77%, 189 yards, 8.6 average. I love this Hawks team. I don't like to lay 7 in a football game. That's not for me. I know they got different rules where you can go for 2 and you can do this late in the game. So I'm going to stay away from the number, but I actually like the over here. I think the Battlehawks, this offense looks like they can do whatever they want. So I'm going to go over 39.5. Home opener. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Hockey. We're going to host the call is the law. We're going to host the whatever they call their championship. I don't even know yet, but we're going to host that, and we're going to be in it, and we're going to win it, baby.
They should call it the $1 million game like they did back in the early 2000s with the XFL.
Tito, you going over here? You taking the Hawks? What are you doing?
I'm just taking the Hawks, Daddy. I mean, what a great environment. This club, I mean, like I said, we talked about this on Friday. Like, we weren't really breaking down things, really, really fundamentally related to the Hawks. But my, oh my, 31-6 beatdown. I mean, what a great performance. And now you're coming home. Now you got the calls of Law Nation. They're going to be packing the dome. They're going to have 50 or 60,000 in that dome, baby. I'm looking forward to it, baby. Let's go, Hawks. Caw.
I'm good
One
laying
thing
the 7.
I'm worried about here with the Hawks is Anthony Beck's done an incredible job, and this might be his last year here in St. Louis. I bet he gets a position somewhere else.
I'm pretty sure he interviewed for the West Virginia job in the offseason and didn't get it. I think that's his alma mater, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, he's had a good run here. A lot of continuity, I think, is really good in this league. Obviously, new quarterback situation this year. Manny Wilkins was with the team last year, got a little bit of playing time as A.J. McCarron's backup. But man, it looked really good on Friday. Houston is, I think, really terrible though. So I'm, trying not to read in maybe too much. But man, and you said it, Shawn, with the numbers. The Battlehawks are just fantastic, really on both sides of the ball. On Friday, I saw San Antonio's got a new quarterback this year. They got smoked in their season opener. It was 33-9 at Arlington. San Antonio lost. Battlehawks home opener. I'm going to take the 7. If it was 7.5, I'd be like, But 7, I feel good with it. This is a revenge game, too. So this is the team that came into St. Louis and knocked the Battlehawks out of the playoffs last year and denied them a chance to play the championship game in front of their home fans. I think a call is going to be the law on Sunday in a big way. Battlehawks in a rout. I'm going to be on the -7.
Yeah, good call not taking the hook. The 7, you know me, Eric. Them lines are too big for football betting, but 273 on the ground. Are you kidding me? Yeah, I was at that game when we lost last year. I'm with you, Eric. I think this is a good team, and we might be the best team in the league.
Yeah.
That's Trey Mason type numbers against MIZ from back in 2014, baby.
It's a nightmare fuel in my head. More nightmare fields. You see Kyle Hendricks is pitching for the Angels tomorrow against the Cardinals. How the hell is this guy even still pitching in the league? And then he shows up here in the 5th game of the season. We got to see Kyle Hendricks. Nightmare fuel. Hate it.
That's all you need to know about the Angels. They got Kyle Hendricks on their staff.
Yeah. Not good. All right, guys, let's do best bets. My best bet here on the show, we got the EPL back in action. I feel really good about this play. I've been fading this team nonstop. The game's on Wednesday. I'm going to take Crystal Palace -1 at Southampton. This is a bet it and forget it type situation. Crystal Palace is red hot. They've won 5 in a row, 10 of their last 12. They've already beaten the Southampton team once this year. And Southampton is the team I just keep fading and I keep cashing. They're one of the worst teams in the history of the English Premier League. They have a record on the season in 29 games, 2 wins, 3 draws, and 24 losses. So in this one, I can get Crystal Palace -1 at +105 on DraftKings. So if they win by 1, it's a push, but I fully expect Palace to win by at least 2 goals. So Palace -1 at +105 on DraftKings. My best bet here on the show. Tito, you ready for your best bet?
Oh, sure, Daddy. Let's go with the Dukies, baby. We're going with the Dukies laying the 5.5. Dukies are going to win by like 15 or 16 points. So we're going with the Dukies as my best bet. Going to be going to Monday night. I think they're like 5 of the last 5. They've been covering the spread like crazy. So I love the Dukies in this matchup against the Cougars.
Yeah, they're just killing teams. I'd just really be surprised at this point if it's not Duke cutting down the nets on Monday night. Shawn, what do you got for your best bet here on the show?
I got the St. Louis Cardinals tonight in action. I'm going to take them. I'm going to lay the 155. That's what I see current odds at. I'm going to take Miles Michaelis. I think it's his last year. He's going to have a pretty solid year. Give me the Cardinals money line, baby.
All right. Well, Tito not on board with that? I think it's square.
That's a big whoop of a take right there to a pretty good year. There's a reason he's been pretty good the last several years, Shawn. It's not because of him being under contract or anything like that.
It's not true.
Okay.
Last several years, last year, not too good.
Yeah. I right now at this point, ride the good vibes, man. The Cardinals are approaching Blues territory for. I'm just going to try and find a way to bet them until the streak runs out. All right, let's finish up with our home team plays of the week. Again, our favorite play in the games involving the local team. So, Shawn, definitely sounds like Cardinals for you. Do you have a next favorite of anything else we talked about between the Blues, Battlehawks, City, the Final Four games, or is it just all Cardinals for you?
It's all Cardinals for me right now, Daddy. I talked about it before the season. I said this team was going to surprise some people, and I believe it. They're younger, as Scott has said, and I'm going to stick with the Cardinals. Hometown team play of the week.
Tito, what you got, brother?
Oh, darn. I thought me and Sharpie Sharp were going to go head-to-head. I'm going with City, baby. Screw both of you fellas and the holding and trying to hold people accountable. We're going with City to win against Kansas City on Saturday night. Forget the draw, forget the minus or the over, whatever that nonsense is. We're going with City and money line. I'm not even sure what the odds are, but that's where I'm going with my home team play of the week. You notice how, Eric, it's a home team favorite where they're actually going to win a game, not because, the head coach bounced, big Waddy freaking down, big woof on that.
We got a nice little variety here on the show because I do have a positive play for the home team for my home team play of the week. And that's going to be on Kakawa, Battlehawks, -7. I think they roll these guys. I think they want revenge. Teams for San Antonio, not as good as last year. I think they're going to beat the hell out of this team on Sunday at the Dome. I might have to try and I'm going to be getting back from my vacation that night, so I don't think I'll be go. But I got to get down to the Dome this year and see the Battlehawks. Oh, man, I can't wait. All right, guys, that's going to do it.
Was incredible.
I believe it, man. I believe it. I think there's a lot of FU Kroenke to it at first, and I feel like that's still there to an extent. But at some point, man, we have a great freaking sports down here. We just do. The fans support it, and they get behind a product that's a lot of fun. It looks super fun on TV.
Yes,
so I can't wait to get on down there this year. All right, guys. Appreciate you guys joining us here on Domesticated Gamblers today. We're going to be back on our normal day next week on Friday. So hit the like button, subscribe to the Sports Hub STL YouTube channel, and support the advertisers, guys. It's really easy to do. You can buy some of those nummy cookies from Samonides Sweets. Just click the link in the YouTube description to go to samonidesweets.com, order some cookies, and get them delivered to your home. And everyone out there, get a quote from James Carlton with State Farm Insurance. Again, I have an extra $800 in my pocket this year because I made the switch to James for my home and auto policies. See what they can do for you. The phone number, 314-961-4800, or online at carltoninsurance.net. You'll see his info in the YouTube description as well. For Shawn, Tito, go ahead.
One last thing. Sorry about Samonides Sweets. Don't forget the promo code MARCH25 with 25% off your order. That's all capitals, MARCH, March 25.
Love it. So thank you to DraftKings. Thank you to Samonides Sweets. And thank you to James Carlton with State Farm Insurance. For Shawn, for Tito, I am Eric. This has been Domesticated Gamblers here on Sports Hub STL, presented by DraftKings. The crown is yours. Thanks for being with us, guys, and we will see you next Friday.
Let's keep cashing.